describes his appearance and his behavior. He described him as skinny, who smiles slightly and looks slightly sissy. They make fun of him again because, in their mind, there was no way the advisor would be anything like he had just described. But Duke Jianhu wasn't laughing, because he knew he was telling the truth. When he was with Intel, that's exactly how he used to describe him. Even the guys in the Cajun Union didn't know who was the advisor except for a few heads. So how come the guy knew about him? Duke Jianhu wondered. Nanchuk was getting impatient and told him to attack him if they were planning to gang up on him. All of them charged toward him, but just then, Duke Jianhu ordered them to stop. Without uttering a single word, he ordered them to head back. He remembered Wu Ninja's advice, which was to not make the Union his enemy too. Nanchuk wondered why they acted the way he did after hearing the advisor's name. In the past, while he was visiting his injured friends in the hospital, he was fuming with anger but had no idea how to find the guy. All he knew about him was that he was wearing a dragon pattern jacket. Just then, someone visited him and asked him if he was looking for the dragon pattern jacket guy. This guy was none other than the advisor himself. At first, Nanchuk thought of him as someone who was just there to patronize him. But when he showed him the picture of the guy he'd been looking for all this time, he listened to every word he said. He introduced himself to him and told him everything about the guy he was looking for, and how he didn't find him because he was in Tasia. He offered to help him get his revenge. He's the one who sent Nanchuk to Yonggil High School, saying he might be able to find a clue about his whereabouts. Taesun reported everything that happened or didn't happen. Chomin thinks that Du Jianhu went easy on him, but Taesun informed him that he didn't go easy on him. He looked terrified instead. Mahari says they might be afraid of Nanchuk's strength, but Chomin knew that Du Jianhu wouldn't back down when he had the advantage of numbers. Instead, he suspects someone was backing Nanchuk and he wasn't from the division. He suspects someone from the Union was helping him. But Mahari thinks that is a bit of an exaggeration. At another place, Nanchuk meets with the advisor Leo Sanjay. Nanchuk reveals how the bullies left him alone when they heard his name. Sanjay knew exactly why they left him alone, as they didn't want the Union to become their enemy as well. It seems Nanchuk completely trusts Sanjay. He thanked him for helping in finding Quan Rouge. Xiangji told him that although they didn't know where he was, there was someone in the school who knew about his location. Sanjay was using Nanchuk to find the guy who was controlling the division behind the shadows. The next day, Nanchuk meets with Chomin again and tells him how the interaction with the bullies went. Out of nowhere, Chomin asks him if he knew someone in Tasia, because it had been hard for him to settle here when his only motive was revenge. At first, Nanchuk was suspicious, but he nonchalantly revealed that the advisor of Tasia Union told him to come to Yonggil High. This revelation baffled Chomin to the core. He had suspected Nanchuk had some sort of connection with the Union, but he didn't think the advisor himself would back him. He remembered Mahari's warning about that vicious man, to think he was going to tell him everything and make him his colleague. He was afraid that the advisor had already deduced that there was an emperor's impersonator inside Yonggil High. He realized how dangerous that guy was. He was using Nanchuk, who didn't know anything to scare someone at Yonggil High. All the guys from the school were already on his list, and it wouldn't be long before he found him. But shockingly, he asked Nanchuk if he could let him meet the advisor.
Wow, sarap.
The man's brother was a big, burly guy, but when faced with his bulky younger brother, he showed no sympathy, instead calling him useless.
Nadyan na win.
Bill Alliance's strategist, he was slightly stunned. After all, Makini had mentioned him before, calling him smart and ruthless. This made Huang Xiaolin form a terrible guess. The strategist might have deduced that the fake boss was in Dragon Day, and was using the unknown Jin Chun to intimidate someone in Dragon Day. If this continues, his list of suspects will definitely get smaller and smaller. At this point, Huang Xiaolin decided to confront the situation head on. He asked Jin Chun if he could meet the strategist. Meanwhile, Yu Shangsai was sitting nearby. The driver kept flattering him, trying to leave a good impression on the young master. Yu Shangsai could tell at a glance that this uncle was new, so he kindly reminded him, "My parents like quiet people. It doesn't matter in front of me, but you better be careful in front of them. I can understand you. After all, people are always interested in those who exist in a different world from themselves." After saying this, he looked at his phone. Jin Chun had sent a message asking if he was free today. Yu Shangsai didn't rush to reply, but started summarizing his plan in his mind. He successfully concealed the news that Huang Wuji was no longer in this world, and used Jian Wuchun's desire for revenge to place him in Dragon Day. He predicted Jin Wuchun would clash with the thugs. Du Jinfu didn't disappoint him, indeed provoking Jin Wuchun. By now, the news about Jin Wuchun being associated with the Alliance's strategist has probably spread. If there's someone impersonating the boss in Dragon Day, they'll surely guess his intention of using Jin Wuchun to divert suspicion. Then this person will definitely react. Things were going exactly as he had guessed. After just one day, someone wanted to meet him. Can you believe this teacher's wit student is actually the ruthless strategist of the Black Hand? Under his command, the defeated Big Four Alliance could actually contend with the Emperor. Now he has concluded that someone is impersonating Huang Wuji. To force out the impersonator, he chose to meet with the suspect privately. Meanwhile, Huang Xiaomin contacted Jin Seixian, hoping he could find and capture the strategist. When Huang Xiaomin first saw the strategist, he was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the other person to be not only his age, but also attending the best local experience academy. At first, Huang Xiaomin suspected he was a blackfellow, but Jin Chun obviously knew him. Just as he didn't know what to do, Jin Chun suddenly stood up, saying he wanted to go to the bathroom. He said, "You guys talk first." But after he left, the atmosphere immediately became awkward. Yu Shangsai got straight to the point. "I don't know if you're aware. Although I'm the Alliance's strategist, I don't operate on the front lines, so I try not to expose my identity. Can you guess why?" Huang Xiaomin stared. "Because you don't want to become a target of the Emperor." Yu Shangsai said, "I didn't expect you to understand so well. Those trying to find out my identity are mostly from the Emperor gang side." He then asked Huang Xiaomin, "Why did you want to see me? Do you also want to eliminate me?" Just then, a group of people surrounded him. Yu Shangsai wasn't panicked at all, a strange smile appearing on his face. He thought to himself, "What a fool. This way, can I confirm that you're the impersonating boss?" Meanwhile, nearby customers slowly approached. It turned out that to prevent this situation, Yu Shangsai had arranged alliance people here in advance, but he didn't choose to expose his identity. Instead, he instructed them to attack only after discovering Emperor Gang people. Just as Yu Shangsai thought the game was over, the Emperor Gang people actually hit Wang Xiaomin, leaving him stunned. They questioned, "Do you know you violated the Emperor Gang's policy by causing conflict at school without permission? And that guy who came with you, he needs to be punished too." Meanwhile, Jin Chun had just finished using the bathroom and saw this scene, burning with anger. He wanted to rush over and finish them off. But before he could act, a group of people rushed in, clashing with the Emperor Gang. If Liu Shangsai hadn't called out to him, Jin Chun would probably still be standing there watching. He was surprised to find that the rumors about the Emperor Gang disciplining Dragon Day were actually true. It turns out that the order Huang Xiaomin sent earlier wasn't to capture the strategist, but to punish Jin Chun and his classmate for causing conflict at school, because he wanted to resolve the strategist issue without raising suspicion from either the Emperor Gang or the Alliance, achieving a perfect victory. This made Jin Zaixian, hiding in the shadows, admit he couldn't match up. Huang Xiaomin, how amazing was he? Meanwhile, Huang Xiaomin took the initiative. "Let's see who's smarter. Didn't you ask why I wanted to meet you? Because I'm Huang Wudi's brother." In his first confrontation with the strategist, Huang Xiaomin chose to reveal the truth. Not only did he disclose that his brother was Huang Wudi, but also stated that he had recently died in a car accident. At this moment, Jin Chun said goodbye, early due to his part-time job. The atmosphere between the two instantly became ice cold. After all, the reason Yu Shangsai revealed his identity to Huang Xiaomin was because he suspected that if he was the fake boss, he wouldn't easily let the Big Phil Alliance's strategist go. So he planned to deal with the prearranged people after the Emperor Gang appeared. As a result, the person the Emperor Gang was looking for wasn't him, but Jin Wuchun. This surprised him, but even so, there were still two possibilities. One is that Huang Xiaomin is really his fan. Two is that he's extremely clever. It doesn't matter which reason. After all, he's just an ordinary student. Later, what is low code? A visual application development approach that uses a graphical user interface and drag and drop features instead of coding. And what can I? I'll have someone capture him and interrogate him directly. Just as the two were about to say goodbye, Wang Xiaomin revealed the truth. This slightly stunned Shanzai. He didn't know what the other's purpose was in doing this. Wang Xiaomin explained that Jin Wuchun was a good person. He didn't want him to continue seeking revenge on a deceased person. He was worried this would cause a misunderstanding between Yu Shanzai and Jin Wuchun. After all, Jin Wuchun came to Big Phil because he trusted Yu Shanzai. Therefore, Wang Xiaomin wanted to meet him. At first, I was worried you might look fierce, so I wasn't going to say anything. But after meeting, I found you have some common sense. So he hoped Yu Shanzai could understand his meaning. If he wants to continue playing the role of a smiling genius, he must tell Jin Wuchun everything. Losing Jin Wuchun means he loses his means of investigating for Dragon Day. So, strategist, what do you plan to do? Unexpectedly, the other person said, Jin Wuchun had already guessed that Huang Yuji was no longer in this world. He said this to find a fake boss impersonating Huang Yuji. When Huang Xiaomin heard this, he broke out in a cold sweat. He thought Yu Shanzai was indeed looking for him, but he still chose to pretend he understood while actually being confused. But Yu Shanzai patiently explained that the current Emperor Gang doesn't know someone is impersonating the boss. So he wants to find that person behind their backs and seize the means of control. He hoped Huang Xiaomin would also pretend not to know. However, Huang Xiaomin saw through Yu Shanzai's lying lens, because Jin Wuchun couldn't possibly know about this. But since Yu Shanzai had instructed him like this, if he still told Jin Wuchun the truth, his intention to hinder the investigation would be exposed. Yu Shanzai said, but I'm curious why you didn't hold a funeral for Huang Yuji. Hearing this, Wang Xiaomin broke out in a cold sweat, not expecting the other to still suspect him. But he quickly reacted, saying it was because he had no money for a funeral. Although this reason was far-fetched, as long as Yu Shanzai didn't know about the phone's existence, he couldn't do anything to them. However, Wang Xiaomin soon realized something was wrong. If the Alliance attacked him, the Emperor Gang would be leaderless. The executives would surely notice something was off, and he would become useless. And once he lost his usefulness, the witch would surely abandon him mercilessly. So I must protect my own safety. From this perspective, Wang Xiaomin felt lucky that Yu Shanzai was planning these things behind everyone's back. As long as he could eliminate that suspicious look in his eyes, he would be safe. However, Yu Shanzai had to go home early for some reason. Before leaving, he called out to Wang Xiaomin, wanting to add contact information to talk more later. Only after Yu Shanzai realized that Wang Xiaomin had someone else, he couldn't help but doubt whether showing his face to the strategist was really correct. After all, this might cause him to stand out among the many students in Dragon Day. But this meeting allowed him to understand the strategist's character. Next, he needed to focus on how he will act. Meanwhile, Yu Shanzai was also reflecting on everything that happened today. If Wang Xiaomin really was the boss impersonator, he wouldn't need to confess that he was Huang Yuji's brother. And his words had another layer of meaning. If I act against him indiscriminately, then I really be ignorant of him. Thinking of this, Yu Shanzai couldn't help but laugh out loud. This started his rival in front. Seeing his maniacal smile, how interesting. He's just a student. If that's the case, I'll politely spar with you for a few rounds. The woman tried to use her charms to drive a wedge between the iron-hearted man and his brothers. But not only did he not feel this, he even felt friends with her. Little did he know, Wang Xiaomin was her accomplice. Wang Xiaomin was quite troubled at this moment. Due to the difficulty in dealing with the strategist, using the Emperor Gang would surely raise suspicion. But what if he let Jin Wuchun attack the strategist? Just as he was hesitating whether to adopt this plan, Ma Hili called, saying she had arranged to meet with Jin Wuchun. It turned out she had bumped into Jin Wuchun on the street and proactively added his contact to the arrangement. The reason she did this was because Huang Xiaomin had mentioned Jin Wuchun to her before. Even if she couldn't persuade Jin Wuchun to kill the strategist, she could still get information through him. But Jin Wuchun was blushing at this moment. After all, this was the first time a girl had approached him proactively. He suspected that this might be some kind of plot, but his hands uncontrollably flipped on her profile picture. Looking at herself, Jin Woo-chun fell into self-doubt. Could it be that his looks were very popular in Big Phil? But thinking of his brother lying in a hospital bed, he threw away his phone. His purpose in coming to Big Phil was to get revenge for his brothers. But now he was infatuated because of a woman. How useless. But this thought didn't last half a second before he justified it to himself. This is a trial on my path of righteousness. It must be. I absolutely can't back down. So the scene from the beginning occurred. Jin Woo-chun dragging Huang Xiaomin to the point. Huang Xiaomin thought to himself, how can there be a fool who brings a friend on a date? Clearly Jin Woo-chun was only good at fighting, still a novice when it came to love. But he still